So it's Janet Beckers here, and the topic of today is all around video marketing and really how do you know if you're going to waste your time? Because honestly, you could be wasting your time doing any video marketing. And like I've said in the prelude to this is I do not want to spend any of my time creating content, putting it out there, and it doesn't work for me. I want to make sure that it is meeting my objectives because I am in business. And if you are following me here, you also are either in business or you are starting up a business. So let's set that intention straight away that you need to be clear on what it is that you're trying to achieve through your video marketing. So I'm going to run through 7 things that you need to be asking yourself because these may be things that you need to set in place before you actually really double down on your video marketing, okay? This is not about you experimenting with video and getting to understand it and getting to use it. I want you to do that like right now. But if you're about to put in your systems where this is what I'm going to be doing all the time, you don't want to be doing busy work. You want results. So we're going to go through the things that if you've got these in place, video marketing is going to be one of the most powerful things that you can use for marketing your business. Now, the reason why I launched the very first video marketing summit in December and why I will be doing this annually is because video marketing is now and will continue to be for a long time the most effective way for you to be able to attract new clients, for you to be able to build that connection, and for you to be able to really get that two-way that is going. For a business as mine that is called Romance Your Tribe, it is all about relationships. And part of that Romance Your Tribe is the romance, which is where you're actually giving and taking. And that can be very difficult if it is only you putting things out. So that's why it's great to use video where you can then be going back and interacting with people, or it may be happening through the process that you're doing, like I'm doing now as I'm recording this on a Facebook Live. So you've got those incredible things that can happen. You've got a really high return on investment if you're using video effectively because people are basically pre-sold on you and they're pre-sold on what you offer before they actually get to the sales process. If you are doing it right. If you're not doing it right, they're not going to be pre-sold. You're not going to be getting a higher return on investment. Why do it? Okay. So for some people that are watching this or listening to this, I may actually recommend to you at the end is don't do it yet. Don't do it. Okay. Instead, focus on the things that I'm going to be telling you that you've got to fill in. But at the same time, I want you to be practicing video because there's quite a few things that you can be doing before you get your strategy ready that are going to make it so when your strategy is right, you're just going to hit the road running. So what I'm not saying here is don't use video. I want you to start using it, but actually using a good strategy, this is what you need to have in place. So if you are here and you're watching live or if you're watching the recording, please just type in your messages. If you're watching this on the blog or on YouTube or on iTunes, wherever you are, come over and just send me a message, okay? If you've got questions, I really want to make sure that I can help you. And so the more interaction that you give me, the better. And I'm getting a big Happy New Year from Penny. Hey, that is so nice to see you. Thank you for that. Okay, so now let's get stuck into what are the 7 things that I want you to be asking yourself. And in my Fancy Pants software, I can put these over the front here. Where are my questions? Prepared them all before, but some of them have disappeared. Here we go. Let's try this. Okay, so the number one, and this is where I find actually that most people get stumped. I'd really love to hear from you if this is something that you have trouble with. Now, one of the most common things that people will say is you need to know your avatar. Yep, absolutely. You need to know who you're creating your videos for. That is not enough. Not enough. You need to be absolutely super duper clear on the transformational journey that you help your clients to go on? What is their point A and what is the point B that you help them to get to? Now, we're not talking about transformation in everything, okay? Because they may be having transformations in what they are doing to get to whatever their big goal is, but you may not have part of it. What you're specializing in helping them with, whatever your products, your services, your courses, your consulting, whatever it is, what do you do to help transform? You need to be absolutely crystal clear on that. And this is the thing that surprisingly, even though it's like, duh, of course, this is the hardest. It really, really is the hardest. If you can nail this, you're doing really, really well. Now, I have a whole process that I use called the Profitable Avatar Quadrant, where I actually identify 4 of your profitable avatars. And we really nail one and a secondary, because you will have usually at least 4. And at least those looks great, but they're going to send you broke. So the first step is getting super clear on point A to point B. So I'd love to hear from you. Like, do you know what is the transformation that you and your services take people on? Do you know what point A is? Do you know what point B is? Do you know what it is that is frustrating them from getting to from point A to point B? You've got to be super duper clear on that. If you don't know that, you can still be using video in a way to try to get information from people, okay? You can still be using that as a way of communicating, but you're going to be using it as a way of doing your research. So there's a lot more that goes into that, but just know if you haven't nailed that, that's going to be your biggest challenge, really big, okay? So I'd love to hear from you. Like, how confident are you in that? Or do you feel like you need to really nail that down? And just so that you know, this is something that you don't just do once and then forget, because your skills, your experience as you're getting results for clients is going to change. So you're going to get greater clarity on that. You're going to be able to dive in deeper. So this is something that no matter how long you've been in business, I will find that people are doing this even when they've been in business for years. Doesn't matter how many zeros they've already built up into their revenue, people continue to do it. So don't trivialize it. Okay, so that is number 1. The number 2 that you need to be clear on, and this is going to again sound like dirt, but what is it you're selling? Now, you might be thinking, well, yeah, okay, I know what I'm selling, but do you? Okay, because as I said at the beginning, you are using videos strategically to drive sales. You are in business. It doesn't mean that you're not going to give value, that you're not going to connect, that you're not going to love people up, but ultimately you are building your business. This is a strategy that you're investing your resources into to be able to attract the great clients, pre-sell them, and find the people who you're going to work with best and bring them on as clients, okay? So you've got to be super clear, like, what is the end thing that you're wanting? What's the final action? It might be that you are having one-on-one consulting services, one-on-one coaching. If that's it, be super duper clear that that's what it is that you are selling, okay? It may be that you're going to be sending them to a course. So you've got to be super duper clear that what is the actual thing that I'm selling. Okay, so is it a course? Now, you may have a few courses. For example, I have a few courses that I sell. I've got to be super clear for each video, what is the end game for this particular one? Or is my end game that I'm looking there to bring people on at a higher level, at a higher consulting level? Be super duper clear. If you're not clear on that, your videos are going to go nowhere. Okay. Now, if you have any questions at any time through this, just throw them through to me because I'm here to help. Okay. So, for example, in this video, I know that the final thing that I am selling is I have a new course that I am actually doing live and creating right now, and people have already joined. And that is the Attract Your Tribe with Video 2021. And the reason it's 2021 is I'm going to be doing it again next year, because I know that things change and I don't want people to be working on something that worked a few years ago. That's why my past video programs are not for sale now. Okay, so I know that I've got that. And I have also got a link here somewhere for you that I will flash up because I'm being totally open. This is what it is that is sponsoring this episode. So that is romanceyourtribe.com/video. If you go there, you'll be able to find out what the course is. That's it. So, but I am not using this particular I'm not using this particular video as a selling video, but always be clear, what is it that you are actually ultimately leading people to? Now, number 3 is if you know that what you're selling is a particular course, and let's just keep it simple. It's either going to be, it might be a course such as the Attract Your Tribe with video, or it might be your one-on-one, where people are actually going to be working with you personally. Let's just use those as 2 examples through the whole thing, okay? The next thing you've got to know is, what is your call to action? If you're doing one-on-one, your call to action could be one of 2 things. It could be, hey, go and check out this free training or this checklist or whatever it is, or this short video that may go for, say, 25 minutes, where I'm going to be teaching you something that is all about how to go from point A to point B, the transformational journey. That may be the freebie that you get them to, so they're pre-sold before they get on a call with you. Or you might just go, hey, if you fit this criteria and you want to achieve this, let's get on a call. You can do that by going here. Be super duper clear on what your call to action is. For me, I've already given you a link, which is romanceyourtribe.com/video. That's going to take you to the sales page. So you can check that out. I could also send you to an opt-in where I'm giving you some really great free content, such as the Video Marketing Summit Playbook, where I've got 50 tips and tools that have been given from world experts on video marketing for this year. I could do either, okay? So be very clear what it is that you're guiding people into, so you know that you're going to actually be seeding that through whatever you're doing in your video. Okay, so again, any questions that you've got, just send them through. Now, the next one that you've got, and this is where this actually is quite in depth to go, but I'm just going to be doing this in a short way, is you've got to know what content is going to convert. And it's going to depend on what type of video that you're using. So, for example, I am using a live video here that is longer, and it's also being repurposed to a podcast. So I know that I've got about 30 minutes that I'm going to be spending here on this content. So I can go in depth. So I can use a different structure here, but I have used a definite structure. If I am creating short videos, and I'll talk to you a little bit about that in a moment, because honestly, this is the place to start, and this is the kind of beautiful video marketing machine that underlies everything you do. You only want these videos to be a couple of minutes long. So you've got to get to the point, okay? So we're going to be talking about, well, what sort of content is going to be working for those. So where people go wrong a lot is they either focus way too much on the how-tos, giving away everything, and then they're wondering where all their sales are going, or they're just doing things that are too general, or they're doing things that do not relate to the transformational journey, that don't relate to what you're selling, that don't relate to your call to action, okay? So, for example, I teach a system that I've been perfecting, and I sort of perfected this through the marketing of the Video Marketing Summit, is what I call the 3x3x3. And so, in short, that is going to be, you will have 3 core topics that you specialize in, that you talk the most on. Now, these are going to be topics that relate to the transformational journey, that relate to what it is that you do, but also out of all of the different things that you can do, it's the questions that come up the most. So when I'm talking about anything when it comes to video, I could be talking a lot about creating your packages. I talk a lot about that. I can be talking about lots of different things, but I know what people want to know about is, how do I find new clients? How do I get new sales? So I will always make sure that a lot of my content is around attracting your tribe, because that's the number one thing that my target market is obsessed with. Okay, lots of other things I could talk about. So there's going to be 3 things that you can rotate through that are those 3 main topics. Okay, the next one that you've got is you want to be trying to go so that you've got, say, 3 different formats that you're going to be using. And that may be, you've got video, you may have some images, you may have an article, 3 different formats that you're going to be using. And then I like to go, well, let's do this 3 times a week. So 1 video plus 1 sort of graphic or a quote or something like that. And then 1 other one, which may be a blog post or another, another social media post. So that's just a really nice formula to use. Now, this is something that I go into in detail in the Attract Your Tribe video program. Like, how do you know what your 3 things are? Templates and things, so that you can really quickly put out the 3 different forms of content. So there's make sure that you're using the right content. If you're not using the right content, if you're talking about the wrong things, again, you're going to be wasting your time. Don't do it. All right, now let's move over to the next one, number 5. So I'm going fairly quickly through these because I want to make sure that you can do a little bit of a litmus test to work out what's the thing that I need to work on here. Okay, so if you've got clear on your avatar and the transformational journey, you can start using video, because your call to action is going to be, if you're not even you're not even sure what you're selling yet, your call to action is going to be, leave a comment or contact, get in contact. Tell me what your biggest frustrations are. What help do you need? You're using it for research in that way. Okay. The next one is you need to know how you're going to structure your video. I was saying that there's a different structure that you're going to be using for something like a podcast, because it's longer, or a live like this. Very, very different to what you're going to be using if you're using a short video. Now, the nice part about the short videos is they get consumed. They get consumed. People know, they've really got to be interested in the topic and be committed and really focusing on that if they're going to be listening to something that is 30 minutes. The shorter the videos, the more often that they're actually, you can be producing them, people are going to watch them, they're going to be waiting for them. But waffle is going to kill anything that you do there, because all you have to do is start waffling and people are scrolling on to the next thing. Just be aware that there is a serious lack of attention span. And so you need to know how you're going to structure your videos. So it's not just a matter of going live, or just recording. You've really got to think through your structure. You've got to have a formula that you use for that, and it's got to be tight. Okay. So do you have the structures, and especially for your short videos, and that are going to be actually hitting the main psychology points so that you're actually going to be getting results from your videos? Okay. And of course, this is something that I teach. Number 6. Now, this is the killer. The big thing is it takes a little work. It takes work to be producing videos, to be making sure that they're branded correctly, to be making sure that they're getting distributed to as many places as possible where your target market is hanging out, and for you to continually not just do it once, but continually re-promoting it, getting people to actually, re-see what you're doing. That takes work. So consistency is a really, really difficult thing to do. So in order to be consistent, these are the things that I really highly recommend that you focus on. Number 1, first of all, really make sure you've got your branding decided quickly so that it's consistent. So you've got your templates. Everything is set up. You don't have to make those decisions. It also means that you can just outsource it to somebody else. They can do the whole lot. A really good program that you can use is called Splashio. So you can go to romancyourtribe.com Splashio, Splasheo. I don't know if I've actually got. Oh, yeah, here we go. Here's Splashio's link for you. We use that in-house. Even though I've got a team that can do all the videos for us, we use those to produce we had 50 videos at least that were going out over a short period in the promoting of the video marketing summit. All of those are done through Splashio, and I absolutely adore it. It actually is exceptionally cost effective. Even for me, who has a team that can be doing all the video stuff, it's much more cost effective. So that makes that really easy for you. Let me just go back here to how you're going to be consistent. So get your branding, make sure you've got that. We're actually creating templates in Canva that we're giving to all of our clients in the Romance Your Tribe with Video program. So you can just get all of the templates, just change your colors, and then you're set to go. So my lovely team is working on that. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to batch. So this is why I highly recommend that you use the strategy. I call it my MeTV strategy. I've actually been using this for years and years and years. It's just evolved from where it was when I first started doing Wonderful Web TV, which I ran for 4 years, a weekly video, really, really short, for 4 years. The nice part about this is these are short videos. You can batch. You can get 12 videos done. That's 3 months worth of marketing. You can get all of those done and sent through, and they can even get edited and branded. And you can get all the videoing and stuff in a couple of hours. You can get 12 months worth of marketing done in a day, less when you are outsourcing. And again, we're creating a whole stack of the actual, and this is the next thing, you need to have standard operating procedures. You don't want to have to try to work it out every single time. So you need to have step-by-step exactly what's going to get done, so it's really, really quick to happen. Okay, so that's, again, what we're doing, those SOPs, so that people can just copy them. So we're refining our own ones in-house, and it's exactly the same ones that we use. Okay, so if you've got that, then it's easy to be consistent. People see you as always showing up, as being reliable, and there's those subliminal messages that go along with the content. Okay, so I'll just see any comments that we've got through. Please just send anything that you've got there and let me know if you are getting that. And you know what? Consistency, that's the one that's really going to make or break it for you. Let's just be honest here. So if you can write consistency or consistent in that chat there, I'm really going to know that you've heard that. Whoop. Dropped my mouse. Okay. Now, the very, very last one is, and this is where the majority of people go wrong, is they just don't start. They just don't start. Now, you don't have to have every single one of your ducks in a row as you're going through. As an example, when I was teaching the MeTV course a few years ago, this is sort of like like something that has evolved into the Attract Your Tribe video program, is one of our clients, Gail Bonnell. She was already working as a speech pathologist. So that was her specialty, but she wasn't quite sure exactly what niche she was going to work in. So, she could sub-niche into that, and she was going from being an employee in the hospital to starting her own. Through that process of creating her videos once a week called Speechy TV, she got clearer and clearer and clearer on her own message. So she had clarity on her avatar. She wasn't sure yet what she was going to sell. And she wasn't super duper clear on her call to action, because to start with, she didn't even have an opt-in. So her call to action was just comment, get in contact with me. By the end of doing that for just a few months, she was really super duper clear on what it was that she did to help people, what her messages were. That clarity then allowed her to work out, okay, a better call to action. What is it that she's selling? And for her, she had, from starting that, within a 2-year period, she had been able to wean herself no longer an employee and completely booked out, and then moved to another state where she had to start all over again, because she worked personally with people and had a waiting list when she got there. So she was fully booked before she even moved. I mean, that's amazing. And it started because she started using the video. She didn't have all of her ducks in a row to start with, but she absolutely had a good idea on the avatar, on what was that journey. And then she kept on filling all those other parts in. And when I say, are you wasting your time? That wasn't wasting her time because she was getting clarity on what she was doing. It built the business because then she was building up all these other parts, because she was doing the other program that I had, which was called Shine back then, but it's the Attract Your Tribe program. And that goes you step by step, really super clear on what you're offering and what your marketing is and how much you're selling, all of that sort of stuff. So that's the big message. Just start, okay? I want you to start by just getting your phone and start filming yourself, okay? You don't have to share it. Start using it, going live. Create a Facebook group with only one person in it, which is you. And then you can live stream into that. Just give it a go. Just start, okay? So my question to you here now, I'm going to put the links here, so if you want to check out the program that I've got, which is romanceyourtribe.com/video, my question now is, where are the gaps that you can identify? Do you feel like you're wasting your time? Or if you've been using video, can you see that what gets you the results, and why do you think it is? Or if you've been using video and you're not getting the results you want, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 7 can you see are the ones that may be missing, that you're not being able to get the results? You're wasting your time because you've got that missing. Really, really love to hear from you. Now, if you would like, I can also send you to a freebie. If you want to go to videomarketingsummit2021.com, you'll be able to get the free playbook. And you can also get a list there of all the gear that I use and recommend as well. So if you go there, you can absolutely get that for a freebie and get some really, really great content to help you with getting your videos out there. So wanting to know what gear and stuff you want to use, there goes your last excuse on that one, okay? And if you'd like some help to actually make this happen, go and check out the video, romanceyourtribe.com/video, which is so you can join the Attract Your Tribe with Video program. So now I'm going to sign off, say goodbye to you. And if you found this really useful, I'd really appreciate it if you would share this with everybody else. I'm going to sign off now. And for the people who are here live, I'm now going to stay a little bit longer and just see if you've got any questions, because I want to make sure I can help you while I'm here. Okay.